I've been singing your praises, darling. Any chance you've done anything to deserve them? Hello, Robin. Making good progress, I hope. Oh. You never stop fighting back, do you? I admire that, but you see, my admiration has its limits. You wouldn't want me to change my mind about our deal, would you? You cure me of radiation poisoning, and you go home. Do you understand? Here's what's going to happen. You're going to discover a permanent cure, and quickly. I know you've told me there's only enough for one dose, and that dose will be for me. In exchange for that, I will give you your freedom. I might even throw in a one-way ticket to Port Charles. That's what you want, isn't it?
You know that's what I want.
Perfect, then we're on the same page. Wonderful. Oh, I almost forgot. To encourage completion of this project at the highest possible speed, I have brought a little incentive.
Oh.
Ta-da!
What is that?
Something I think you might find very motivating.
Why don't you just ever say what you mean?
It is the DVD of the 2013 General Hospital Nurses' Ball.
Nurses' Ball? But the board was always saying there wasn't enough money.
Well, there nearly wasn't. Ms. Coe et al.
Wait, hold on a second. Lucy? She came back for the ball?
Yes, and then apparently for good.
So that they did find the funding.
Oh, blast. Anonymity is overrated. Yes! It was me! I paid for the whole affair out of my very deep pockets.
Why would you do that?
Well, on a global note, HIV/AIDS is a vicious, terrible, and unnecessary disease that should be eradicated. On a personal note, I was concerned about your health.
I am healthy.
Thanks to me. I've provided you with a cocktail, haven't I? Made you take it every day.
Yeah, so I don't croak before I finish your cure. Just do me a favor, okay? And don't pretend that you actually care about my well-being.
I've provided you with something that was a reminder of what's waiting for you at home. So, do you want to see it or not?
I want to see it.
Excellent. It's a riveting show. There's a striptease, actually. All male, unfortunately. And then Miss Coe loses her clothing thanks to Richard Simmons, of all people.
Richard Simmons?
Yes, it makes the whole thing worth watching. But I'll just be queuing up the juicy bits, and off we go.
The Nurses' Ball was first hosted in 1994. Since then, HIV and AIDS has become more treatable and more manageable thanks to medical advancements, which is wonderful. But it's also misleading.
I love you.
There is a lot of work to be done. And no one knew that better than my late wife, Dr. Robin Scorpio Drake.
Worth pushing yourself a little harder to get home to, isn't it? Would you like to see more?
Mom. Oh my God, is that...
Duke Lavery. The one and only. He and your mother reunited.
So it was Duke that was feeding Faison the wrong history. Duke really is alive.
Well, they're a handsome couple, aren't they? And you must really miss them, and they're not the only ones.
My little pop star daughter here and I are forever grateful for the love that you showed Robin, and for the love that you continue to show to a cause that Robin believed in with all her heart.
Oh my God, my baby. You're so grown up. Ugh.
Oh, you're moved. Here you go.
Very observant.
And now for a little more incentive.
What more do I need than seeing my own family?
Well, there's this new girl in town.
I can't take credit for someone else's vision. Patrick, could you bring her up here, please?
Who's that?
Oh, her name is Sabrina Santiago. She's a new nurse at General Hospital. She's a really lovely woman. Just ask your husband and daughter.
What are you talking about?
Oh, wave hello at the new woman in Patrick's life. Hola, Sabrina. Gorgeous. From what I hear, Sabrina and Patrick are quite serious. I'd hurry up and run that cure if I were you. Enjoy.
Do you think Mommy is watching us?
I think she's always watching.
I'm coming, Patrick. I swear it. If this next trial fails, Jerry will die, and what becomes of me? This is day number 289 that Jerry has been holding me, and the little girl inside of me keeps thinking my mom is coming to save me. I know it's silly. And I know my mother isn't a god, but I've always seen her as some kind of a superhero. And I keep thinking that at any moment she's gonna come busting through that door to take me home.
Oh, yes. Frisco Jones, please.
You'd think that I would get used to imprisonment, but they say some people actually do, but nope. Not I. Time hasn't dulled the ache to be home with the people that I love. I wonder all the time, what are they doing? Are they even thinking about me? Does Emma miss me? Does she even remember me?
So, Emma?
No telly until you do your homework, Doctor.
I have been working all day.
Well, you may have worked all day, but I gave you this video as an incentive to spur you on, not as a distraction.
I am already doing everything that I can.
Well, maybe you should do more. Need I remind you of the consequences if you fail?
No, it's not necessary. You've only reminded me about
Cure
1,000
me.
times.
Or you're never returning to Port Charles. To put it bluntly, you'll lose your husband, your daughter, to that beautiful Sabrina Santiago. Forever.
Your cure is coming. Science takes time.
I'm beginning to think you're stalling, Doctor.
And why would I do that?
Well, perhaps you're betting that if I drop dead, your chances will improve. Trust me, they won't. If I die, you join me.
And if I manage to save you, what's to stop you from killing me then?
My word.
Well, I find that less than reassuring since you already tried to kill me.
Oh, come on. I had a lobby full of hostages. I wanted them to be suitably intimidated. And shooting you was a means to an end, and I was very careful about the placement of the shot. I gave you a reasonable amount of survival, and survive you did.
I want assurances that when this is over, you will let me go unharmed.
I'm afraid you're going to have to take my word for it. And if that's not enough, too bloody bad. Now take this time and energy and put it in your work. Otherwise the family reunion you so long for won't be in this life, but the next.
Yes.
Most impressed by your temporary cure to keep me alive. You've done a bang-up job. Nothing like a little positive feedback, don't you think? Cheerio. Keep up the work. Come on.
You see my little schnitzel? Oh, here we are towards men I told you about.
What is that?
A baby. And he has a name. You may call him Cesar.
I know it's a bloody baby. What's it doing here?
I couldn't leave my grandson alone. And your hired thugs are useless. What do they know about caring for an infant?
Let me repeat the question. What is your slobbering grandson doing here?
He couldn't stay with his mother. Her plans for him were inadequate.
You kidnapped him?
I liberated him.
So you went back to Port Charles, where you're wanted by the police, kidnapped him, and came back here.
You have a firm grasp on the obvious.
Have you lost your mind? Your daughter won't rest till she finds her son. Which means the police, the WSB, and Anna Devane will be alerted. You might as well have brought the authorities right here.
Relax. I know how to cover my tracks.
Tracks? Well, that proves my point. They need to be covered.
I was deceiving better women than Anna Devane when you were in nappies. She will not find us here.
Still, a search is underway where there was once none. A search that could get us caught.
I had no idea you were so timid. That is not your reputation.
Now, shut up. I can't afford delays or distractions so you can see your grandson. Have you ever heard of Skype?
My plans for little Cesar require more than a glimpse of his digital image. Which reminds me, I need a babysitter.
Oh, don't look at me.
Trust Cesar with you? You are many things, Jerry. Paternal, you are not. No, we have another idea. Don't we, Liebchen?
Dr. Westbourne, I don't think this is the time of...
I don't think this concerns you, Nurse Santiago.
Actually, it does.
What is this?
Fine. Stay. Although you may wish you had.
Well, I'm never gonna know until you spit it out.
Patrick, I have great news. I'm pregnant.
You guys were talking about Robin?
I won't have it.
Need I remind you who brought Robin to you in the first place? I can just as easily remove her.
I'd like to see you try.
I'd like to see you try to stop me. Now, are you going to get out of my way?
Did your mother...
I know this may come as a surprise, but will you find it in your heart to celebrate with me?
Pregnant?
We are pregnant. Our baby's gonna be so beautiful.
Good morning, little bird.
Obrecht,
Come, we're peers. You can call me Liesel.
what do you want?
Hate to be a bother, but I need you to look after this little schnitzel while conducting your research.
So now I'm a babysitter?
I thought you'd like a roommate.
What is this, some kind of trick? You thought that I would be so horrified by the sight of you anywhere near a child that I would just do whatever it is that you wanted?
I'm afraid you're overthinking a simple request for childcare.
I am not in the mood for manipulations. I have work to do.
Perhaps you'd change your mind if you knew his parents.
What does that have to do with anything? It's not my child.
But he is your husband's.
This is Patrick's son?
Yeah, I stopped listening to your orders and started thinking for myself. I told Patrick that Ben isn't his son.
A bundle of joy, nicht wahr? And that's his mother. The striking woman on the video? Britta, my daughter.
Patrick had a son with your daughter.
It was such a good match. But you know Patrick, he's insatiable. He quickly tired of Britta and moved on to that slatternly nurse, Sabrina Santiago.
No, I don't believe you.
You expected Patrick to remain faithful to your memory?
No, I don't. I can't. I mean, Patrick had a child with another woman?